Hello, and welcome to ANCA 101. What is a public benefit corporation under ANCA? My name is Benjamin Miller, and I'm a lawyer who serves nonprofits and charities, and I'm of counsel with BIG Charity Law Group. In this video, which is a bit of a confessional, we'll discuss the real meaning of public benefit corporation. The reason I call it a confessional is because if you've been watching the other videos on this channel, you'll know that I've talked about PBCs in a few places before without really going into the details. So the confession is that really I oversimplified it a bit, and in this video we'll go into the details of what a PBC actually is, some of the financial review obligations specific to PBCs, and what happens to the property of PBCs when they wind up or dissolve. Quick disclaimer, the following presentation is general legal information, not legal advice tailored to your specific situation. If you're looking for tailored advice, we suggest you reach out to a competent legal advisor. My contact information is at the end of this video, and you can always go to charitylawgroup.ca. Okay, so the confession part. I've oversimplified in other videos the meaning of PBC in two ways. Firstly, a public benefit corporation is a status that a nonprofit can get and lose every 3 years. So, if in 1 year you qualify as a public benefit corporation, the next subsequent 3 years you have the status. If in none of those 3 years you qualified, then you lose the status. If in any of the 3 years you qualified, then the status gets extended, right? So you can see why I didn't mention this in all the other videos. Some lawyers have called this the yo-yo effect, because you can become and stop being a public benefit corporation by meeting the two criteria that I'm about to discuss. You could either be a charity, or you can receive $10,000 from what I've called in other videos public sources. So now I'm going to go into detail about what the public sources actually are. So if you get $10,000 or more in the form of donations or gifts from persons who are not members, directors, officers, or employees of the corporation, then you qualify for the next 3 years as a public benefit corporation. So in other videos I just said $10,000 from people who aren't your members or connected, related to your members. So it's a bit more than that. It's also from people who aren't your directors, officers, or employees of the corporation, and it's specifically in the form of donations or gifts. So if you're selling t-shirts, let's say, and you make more than $10,000, that's fine, because that's not a donation or a gift. That's a payment for a good you sold. But if you're getting $10,000 or more in the form of a donation, then you're qualifying for the next 3 years as a public benefit corporation. The other source of funding that might make you a public benefit corporation is if you get $10,000 or more from federal government, provincial government, or municipal government, or an agency of government. And it needs to be in the form of a grant or similar financial assistance. So again, it's not if you're selling a service or a good to government. So you can see why I didn't go into detail. It gets a bit complicated. So one of the ways that public benefit corporations are different from other nonprofits under Ontario's Not-for-Profit Corporations Act is they have additional stringencies for the financial review obligations. If you have annual revenue under $100,000, then you can pass an extraordinary resolution, that means support of 80% or more, to waive both an audit or a review engagement. If you have revenue between $100,000 and $500,000, then you can waive an audit, but you have to get a review engagement. And if you have revenue above $500,000, then you have to get an audit. For nonprofits that aren't public benefit corporations, there's no income level under ANCA at which they have to get an audit. They always have the option of opting for a review engagement. So, what happens to property of public benefit corporations when they dissolve? Unlike other nonprofits, the property of public benefit corporations can only be distributed to certain types of organizations when the PBC winds up or dissolves or ends. If the PBC is a charity, then the property can only be distributed to another corporation that's a registered charity with the Canada Revenue Agency that has similar purposes to the PBC, the Public Benefit Corporation. They can also give their property to the Crown, that means the government, either the federal or provincial government, an agent of the Crown, or a municipality. If the PBC is a non-charity, then they can give it to all the same people as charity, and they can also give it to other public benefit corporations with similar purposes. So that, in short, are the rules that govern public benefit corporations. If you have any questions, please reach out to me at benjamin.miller@charitylawgroup.ca or visit charitylawgroup.ca directly, and someone will be happy to take your question. Thanks for listening.